Here we go. AS versus Khers. AS is finally back. No. No, you can't. And AS versus Khers is on. Everyone. As we have a lovely game coming in here. Khers, obviously semi-finalist of last season. AS had to take one season of hiatus because he had to enhance his wrist. He got surgery on his hand, so now back stronger than ever. As we have a lovely match at hand. Maverick versus Maverick. Khers on the right side, coming in with 17th SS on the left side. AS coming in with 2nd Guards Tank Corps. This should be a quite interesting game, and it's a pretty interesting group as well, as Khers and Ninja, the two favorites most likely of the group, did get a draw in their match. So every map they play from now on out, really important. And obviously also a bit of an option now for Fantix and AS with an upset against either of these players to maybe get themselves in there into the playoff, into the semifinals. So really important games here. And also, if you want to support this tournament, check out the Match Arena for SDL League Season 9. A lot of codes still to be claimed, a lot of free codes that you can add free money with to the prize pool. Visiting the link here helps out as well, as these add free money to the prize pool as well. And then, if you want to find any information about the rule, check out playsdl.com. Where you can find all the informations about the rule set. Also, my streaming schedule for each week coming up Mondays on here as well. And then, if you missed a stream with a cool tournament game, for example, Lunar versus Stardeck, you can find that from now on out always on the SD League Uncut or on the main channel. All tournament games I casted will be now on a YouTube channel of ours. SDL Uncut, mostly focused about covering all the games that I casted to get on there, whilst the main channel will be still split between announcements about new content, best tournament games, and reviews of upcoming games that are cool, and so on. Whilst the second channel will be mostly focused about past tournament casts, and the best memes, the best of your Twitch clips will go up there as well. So if you want to get your if you make good clips, guys, those will be found on YouTube as well. Already started with that as well. So yeah, let's have some fun. Let's see what is going to happen here with an interesting matchup. 2nd Guards Tank Corps, not the division that we see too often, but T-3485s should be holding up pretty well against Dog Force, so that's not a bad idea. And the Sys 3 guns are nice. Guardia DPs maybe a bit lackluster against the enemy tanks. And in the north we also have Felt Gendarmerie in Tetrax coming up. As on the other side we have Guardias, Sys 3s, Maxims, Panzerschreck, and Motor Redgas coming up as well. Nicholas and Hickey moving forward on either side. T-34-76 will move in there. And here we go. Big start. Everything coming up to get in there. Felt Gendarmerie will get to that spot over there. Felt Gendarmerie in the north, trying to get into some good positions as well. As Khers is trying to rush here, it seems. Can AS stop that? Or will Mr. Khers get into a good spot? Obviously rushes into this position we have seen quite a couple of times. One of them was against me by Stardeck, and that was pushed back. No, that worked. And then the other one that was pushed back was also Stardeck, but Luna was good enough to hold that off. Let's see if AS can hold it off as well, or if the push of Khers is too strong here. Well, Gendarmerie already closing in here. but getting pinned down and heavily messed up. Only one of them actually ever able to get a shot fired, but more and more reinforcements coming in here. SS Legionaries rolling in as well. Felt Gendarmerie just here to get a bit of confusion online. Felt Gendarmerie in the south coming in as well. Tanker Sanikis in armored transport though won't get stopped by it. Felt Gendarmerie here getting pinned down really quickly. Should go down, but the question is, can the northern push work? Maxime's already getting killed off by the 20mm. The CIS 3 gun being stunned and pushed backwards as well. So tanks are necessary here. The 20mm doing a really good job. IG-18 helping out big time as well. CIS 3 gun already relatively low here. Another 231 in the north. Marder and Stuk 4 moving forward as well. So a single T-34, 85 most likely not going to be enough. CIS 3 has fallen as the Guardia tried desperately to hold the line here against the SS Legionaries. On this range, they will outgun the SS Legionaries, especially when the SS Legionaries are in the open. But if the other SS Legionaries can get into this range and get their Berettas online, the Guardias will be heavily outgunned, and especially when the 20mm is coming around as well. So they have to disengage further. Panzerschreck can be helpful here against the 20mm. T-34-85 gets a shot onto the 231, does miss though. Unfortunate there for AS. Whilst in the center, a big fight is happening as well. Marder 3 and MG42s versus Maximes and CIS 3 gun. CIS 3 gun not having a line of sight onto the Marder. Maximes for now pinning down the Volksdeutsche spam here. Volksdeutsche being disheartened Panzergrenadier MG34, so pretty solid unit for 25 points. So this disheartened effect obviously makes them a good bit weaker when it comes to their morale system, as they get stunned quite a bit faster and you can't control them as well. Meanwhile, T-34-76 over here outgunned by the Stuk, has to disengage, has to fall back. SPW on the other side goes down, but the Stuk might be able to kill the T-34-76 at the same time. Yes, it goes down. SS Legionaries in a 1 versus 2 will easily lose against the Tanko de Saniki here. Tanko de Saniki getting 2 Molotovs off, instantly stunning down the Legionaries here basically, getting the kill there. But T-34-76 85 versus Stuk 4 is a close fight. This T-34-85 has the better penetration characteristics. That doesn't matter though when a G1 comes around. Really clutch G1 here. Stuk 4 was already once penetrated, but doesn't get killed off. And if that would have gotten killed, that would have been a big game changer. But instead, the G1 now on the way to the north as well, and where another T-34-85 is waiting. If that goes down, this game is as good as over. No airplanes coming in here, as Khers is closing in here, and that T-34-85 will most likely bite the dust. And with that, this game is as good as over, I would say. Like, these units in the north were so important. 59 now for Khers. Yak-9T trying to hunt down the J-87 G1 now. No AA on the other side, so it might be able to do that. As the G1 got hit here now, wing damaged. The Yak-9T trying to come around, trying to hunt it down. Most likely will be able to do so, but that's a big investment into something that doesn't affect the front line. No T-34-85 on the front line now to deal with the Stuk Force. T-34-76 might even die as well. Oh no. Okay, the G1 runs out of ammo, does do a penetration though, and the Stuk 4 is aiming at it already, and the Stuk 4 should be able to do the job. G1 goes down, but that already did its job. And with that, this game number 1 is an absolute shambles here for our player from Brazil. AS in a pretty big pickle here. And I don't think you can bring this one back. 59 continues to take. It would be an absolute miracle if AS would be able to get this one out of this position. Guardia DP trying to deal with 231. T-34-76 moving forward as well. Meanwhile in the south, Stuk 4 holding the line. And Panzerschreck did die trying to kill it. So no advantage for AS on any part of the map at all. Only on the defense in all the spots. T-34-76 at least helping out a bit here. Yak-9T with 20mm. In other words, with 37mm helping out a bit against the 231. Might be able to kill it if it keeps on line of sight, but the 16-8 is so rough. And especially because it's just not just the flags, but also the positions that Khers has now. Like this line of sight on this ridge, these forests holding against so much open ground here that you will have to get across is just really, really brutal on this map. Losing this ridge as the left side on Slutsk is usually a death sentence. There's a couple of scenarios where you can come back, especially if you win in the town, but we didn't see a victory in the town either. So, yeah. AS in a really big trouble. ISU 152 trying to come along. If that maybe can luckily snipe the Stuk 4, but I don't think Khers will let that happen. I don't think Khers will let a 2000 meter range shot happen from the ISU onto the Stuk 4. Then that maybe might allow a bit of a push here, though the Pak 40 still is dangerous. The Martyr 3 still is dangerous. Another Stuk 4 already on the way, an IG-33 already on the way. You know, this game is as good as over. T-34-76 trying to hold the line, but this is really a terrible, terrible start here. Will open fire onto the Stuk 4. Stuk 4 doesn't see it just yet, but the chances of penetration on this range for the T-34-76 are rather limited as well. And another Stuk 4 already comes in, even if it gets the kill. The Stuk 4 will be getting a replacement in there. And for that, it first has to get a penetration against the 100 frontal armor of the Stuk 4 here on a relatively long range. So chances for that are rather slim. T-34-76 engaging the Volksdeutsch over here. Getting a pin down at least. Trying to move further up. Stuk 4 though still holding the line over here. ISU trying to get a shot off, but only against infantry right now. And the Stuk 4 is aiming onto the T-34-76 here already. Getting a penetration. Another tank most likely going down for AS here. As Khers is going full pedal to the metal here. Classic Khers match. Always loves to be aggressive with Maverick or with Vanguard. And this one is once more one of these kind of games. Volksdeutsche here getting pushed back. But T-34-76 goes down. E2 83 coming in here, trying to push back. And yeah, in the long run, TSP2s and so on would be amazing. But with a 16-8 already happening, and with the front line of AS already being in such a shamble, I don't think they will make a difference. Yak-9T in the north coming around, another ISU trying to help out. Like, all of these units are nice, but with that early game going as terribly as it went, and with that Ju-87 G1 getting the kills it got, this game is just in a really, really rough spot. Within 5 minutes here, really, Khers did disassemble the AS's start completely, as the IG-18 hits the Guardia DP as well. Volksdeutsche hitting around on the battlefield. ISU 152 trying to come in from the rear. Not really managing to achieve much here though. And Guardia DP being hit up in the open by the IG-18 over here. Guardia DP being pinned down. Yes. Up here in the north, T-34-76 is trying to get on a shot onto the Pak 40, but obviously it can't take a long engagement there. SPW has to be careful, as the T-34-76 most likely would win that fight. But yeah, now with an IG-33 also in this position, and the ISU 152 also down in the north, this game won't get any better for IS. Has to put a tick behind this one and go on to the next one, because this game number 1 will go to Khers. There's no doubt about it by now. T-34-76 trying to find a line of sight onto the SPW, trying to move through that building here, as the SPW is hiding behind that one, but now got a line of sight, got a shot, got a kill. 16-8 still happening though. IG-33 shooting from over here, another T-34-85 trying to come around, but with the extra cover that Khers has over here, it's just so tough. T-34-85 76 also went down over here without killing the Stuk 4. Stuk 4 eventually got a shot on, got a kill, and with 2 Stuk 4s and the SPW without any anti-tank around here, Khers can now also push this completely out. So yeah, a pretty rough game number 1 here for AS. A lot of things went wrong. Couldn't really show his game plan at all. And the push in the north, really scary, really strong on this map. Well done by Khers. Flak 36 now also getting a Yak-9T shut down. And Stuk 4 engaging further over here as AS does surrender game number 1 to Khers, who has the 2-1 KD as well, next to having an 18-6 there in the end. So, well played by Khers. One of those classic Khers pushes that this time worked out. So, yeah, let's see if AS can hold better in game number 2, which we will see in 3 minutes. So here we go, game number 2, AS versus Khers, and AS has to step it up. Khers is having the reserve army now. The 43rd, whilst AS has the 44th. So one number better. So what can go wrong, right? It's also Vanguard Khers again. We have him back. Vanguard Khers on the battlefield, whilst AS is bringing around Maverick. So that should be hot. 44th with a good amount of tanks. And a solid amount of infantry. Good off-map, good planes. 44th for sure, a solid pick. 43rd though, really good as well, as their infantry nowadays is absolutely hot business. Their tank tab, solid as well. Only thing they don't have is good AA, but they have the LA7, so they have a good fighter. And the artillery tab is lacking as well. But that doesn't matter for Khers, because Khers' investment into artillery is never above 100 points anyways, so not having any big artillery guns doesn't matter there. As we have now game starting. Off-map coming in for the center. What's on the other side? Khers moves in with a solid amount here, but especially a big amount of units for the south. Saperis, Saperi-Rocks, Tankos, Travnikis. And yeah, I don't think interesting to see that AS thinks he can win the south, it seemingly as well. Because I feel like AS should just not invest in here. PTRS hopefully also could move further forward. And AS that PTRS that moves a bit further forward could be annoying here. Maybe unloading a couple of units would be nice. Off-map call in here is an interesting one as well, as there's no follow-up to it. So I'm a bit questionable of questioning the position of this off-map a bit as well. Also not the best position, as there's usually not that many units in this part of the map, but we will see how it goes. As SG-43s and sniper rifles engaging in the north, Maxims under fire, Tanko de Sanikis coming up, Sis 3 gun in the rear, whilst the Sis 3 gun on the other side is opening up fire as well onto the SG-43. PTRS trying to deal with the armored truck over here, as Tanko de Sanikis coming in as well, but the PTRS get the kill. Tanko de Sanikis taking damage, but make it out alive, as PTRS are not killing all units inside the transport they are getting rid of. Off-map number 1 does a good amount of stunning here. Well, not even that much stunning, to be honest. A decent amount of stunning, but doesn't even kill an SG-43 here, so really not the most efficient of off-maps. Second one already being called in, but that's now a 170 point off-map. Yeah, if AS can get control of the central hill though, that would be powerful, and now the infantry to follow the second one up is coming in. So that one could be powerful. Meanwhile in the south though, against this Saperi-Rocks, AS has to be defensive. I like the 50 cal trucks, those will be helpful. Guardias versus Tanko de Sanikis and Saperis is a nice thing here as well. But 3-star veterancy Saperis are really, really powerful. So AS has to be careful, has to disengage with these Guardias here as well, basically. 50 cal half-tracks dealing a good amount of stress here to the Saperis. Saperis getting pinned down already. One of them heavily stressed out here. As the Yak 9B comes in with a cluster run. And that might be perfectly on target to kill the T-34. Oh, but it doesn't kill it. Still pushes it back though, as this is the better T-34. A matchup between these two T-34s would be favorable without damage to AS, as it has 90 frontal armor and might be able to bounce some of the shots of the other T-34, whilst with 75 frontal armor you don't bounce any T-34 76 shots that hit you, really. At the same time, SU-152 coming in for a north as long-range HE support. Good unit for sure as well, even though it got a bit more expensive. And I'm surprised that AS didn't push in deeper here, as now the infantry is moving in. The second off-map did a good amount of damage, killed off a couple of units as well. But AS needs to push there, whilst the South for sure will be problematic to hold here. Yeah, gets rid of the truck here. PTRS might be able to get some side shots into that T-34-76. That would be amazing. Now the PTRS trying to come along, as the South will fall to Khers though. But at the same time, AS can move in here. This off-map, bit of a waste now. But AS seems to be a bit risk-averse here in A phase. Whilst Khers gets T-34-76s in the north. Early game, though, so far though, obviously way better than in game number 1 for AS. Is up even in flex right now, and the trades are not terrible. Like, yes, the South will get lost, but that's more because Khers invested more than down to the trades that happened down here. Trade-wise, I don't think AS did terribly down here. And as I said, the off-map in the center, a bit questionable, but it still should allow a victory here, especially as AS Khers is giving up the center kind of completely here. SU-152 in the north, T-34, 85, 1943 coming in there for Khers. One card of T-34-76 is sitting around there as well. And yeah, with these off-maps here, now AS for sure should be able to overtake the center, and that's up to 3 flags. So yeah, that allows you easily to give up other parts of the flag of the map. PTRS gets the BA-10 here killed as well. That's nice. Strafnicki officers will be able to do a good amount of damage. T-34-76 though, even pushing in a bit closer here. Strafnicki officers might be dangerous to it though, and so is the T-34-76 over here. But that aims slower, gets penetrated. Cannot get the kill onto the T-34-76 over here. No, it doesn't get a shot off. But the Strafnicki officers with the AT grenade get the kill. So the T-34-76 of Khers survives down here. And I don't know why AS is investing any points in here. That is a waste of money. You won't win this fight with Tango de Sanikis. This is not gonna happen. Should have invested that further into the center. As also the Xcardias should be on the move for a good while now. Yeah, winning the center now is key here. As AS now will have to face a T-34-85 by now in the center. T-34-76 moving in there. Moving forward, Guardia DP and Tanko Komrodi moving in the north. Sniperi trying to hold the line against the channel over here. As the Sniperi get the channels pinned down. M2A1 moving forward. Strafnicki officers will engage against the M2A1 over here. As 50 cults open up here. PTRD not good enough to get a kill. 50 cults also trying to pin down the BA-10 over here. That's obviously a bit harder, as that is an armored truck. As the Tanko de Sanikis keep on pushing. Yeah, something anti-tank against the BA-10 would be nice. The SU-152 though did die up here. Over here. So that's a big loss to AS's forces. M42 trying to get some kills down here. And the center should have been one harder. AS slipping the victory there. Using 3 off-map charges and still not controlling the area where the off-map charges went. That is obviously not great. M42 trying to kill the T-34-76 down here in the south. But I don't think it's quite in a good spot to do so. Well, as I say that, I cast the curse to T-34-76 and it went down. But AS should stay defensive here. I mean, AS is Maverick. Just needs to set up a solid position in A phase. And yeah, the 75 frontal armor T-34-76s are relatively vulnerable to the M42s if they are close enough. M42s once more here, doing a decent amount of crits and damage. Not quite getting the kill though. And no anti-tank in the north here for AS. AS also bringing in a 2-2. T-34-76 once more goes down, but the 2-2 actually coming in. Going for the Cis-3, getting the Cis-3 out of there. Yak-9 at the same time getting a kill here as well. 2-2. Could go home now, I think. That flies home now, that would be good. At the same time, more anti-tank guns coming around. T-34-76 here holding the line. But the Yak-9B bomber coming in for it again. So that's quite frustrating. Yak-9B once more with damage, not with a kill though. Yeah, Yak-9B is not the most amazing cluster bombers out there. That's the Yak-1B. Comes in from the other side. That's a really ballsy head-on from both sides. Both sides having the exact same amount of firepower there and the exact same amount of hit points. So it's just RNG galore here, as both sides also having the same amount of veterancy. One side would have better veterancy, that would make a difference there. Same time, Yak 1B of AS is getting stuck here. Yak 9B of Khers trying to maneuver into a position where it can get the kill. Not sure if it can get another shot off though, as the Yak 1B is getting out of here and will be able to escape the battlefield. Will take a long time to repair though, as Khers now is up to a 1410 and is actually pushing the middle. The position where Khers invested next to nothing, whilst AS invested a hell of a lot there in the beginning of the game, is now actually getting pushed by Khers. Obviously, Khers has more income in A phase, but the position is still not great. Guardia DP under fire. Tanko Sanikis trying to hold the line, but the parry rocks with the double flamethrowers are deadly. And that is gonna be a tough spot here for AS on the left side, as now it's a 59 for Khers, and that is most likely not going to end well if nothing is done about it. At least we're about to hit B phase though, where AS will get a lot of income, and that is gonna be necessary. I still think the focus should be winning the center and getting the reinforcements in there, as if you hold this hill, and I still don't know why he didn't push for it harder early on with that off map. If you get a good anti-tank guns in here, you can lock down a lot of the enemy's flags, a lot of the enemy's map as well, and threaten to hit a lot. And the flanks also not looking as hot. An SU-152 coming out when the enemy has a T-3485 and a BA-10 and you don't have any anti-tank also is a questionable decision in my eyes. Let's see how that goes. Hopefully that stays a bit out of range. And does a bit better there. 50 cal truck dies in the south. The A-10 has to be careful, as there's 2 anti-tank rifles up there, so it doesn't want to fight that either. And somehow AS is investing into the south, and I'm not sure that push can work out. SU-152 is nice, but there's a T-34 76 in the south. There's good CQC infantry in this forest. I don't think you can beat the infantry of 43rd as 44th. That seems to be like a bad decision. I really think you should focus on the center. And it kind of has parallels to the Stardeck versus Luna game of the side with the weaker infantry still somehow deciding to try to go for the fight down here. Even though they traded well and they don't need to do anything else here. Instead of trying to go for the center where the enemy actually was relatively weak. As now both of the flanks are getting won by Khers, and the center somehow as well, and that is looking pretty rough here for AS. SU-152 in the north, now getting hit up by the T-3485. Another T-3485 coming in for AS. The 1943 model as well though. No 1944 models. Whilst on the other side we have 1943 and the SU-85. Once the SG-43 tried to hold out against the Saparis. So this is a pretty tough position. T-34 1944, 85 1944 coming in the north. That has a big advantage in a direct matchup with the 43 model, as it has better rate of fire. It has on its AP shell also same amount of accuracy, but it has more range on it, and with that also more penetration. Yes, the 2-2 comes in here for the Stravniki. Like the 85, the 43 model looks scarier because it has that APCR shell, but it only has 1,500 meter range, and yeah, only 6 rounds per minute versus 7 rounds per minute. Oh no, both have. Wait. Am I in a misconception? I thought they had different rate of fire, but I guess it's just range by now. Yeah, the extra 250 meter range is big though. And the extra MG is big as well. Extra MG helps out with dealing with infantry a good bit as well. And that all for 10 points. big fan of the 1944 model. 2000 meter range is nice. Meanwhile, T-3045s here shooting at each other. Shooter killed crit here is nice. The 76 shouldn't do too much. So Khers might lose this fight. Yeah, 85 getting a nice kill. Khers should micro this 76 out of there. Otherwise that might go down as well. Oh, insta bailout. Okay. Good hits here, but Yak-9s scavenging over the battlefield, using their guns to strafe down enemy infantry, and Khers still might have too much stuff on the battlefield. Yak-9B coming in for the T-34-85 with the cluster bomber hit. Will get a good amount of damage, will even get the kill there this time around. Better hits it seems. But yeah, the SU-152 T-34-85 combo is a good one. Assist 3-gun, for example, getting hit hard by it. But the enemy has air, the enemy has way more infantry, and it's already a 17-7. So this game, once more, not looking super hot for our player in blue here. AS once more, pretty much on the brink of defeat here. Game still not looking good. Here's with the better traits throughout the game, and the amount of infantry that floods in here now, as AS is finally getting the higher income in overall, but having way less on the front line because the traits are not working out. Like now, AS will have more overall income on the map, has caught up to the A-phase advantage that Khers got when it comes to income, but still the front line is looking rather grim already. 152mm off map, maybe a good idea to try to hit this hard formation. Maybe the last hope of getting a good breakthrough in the center, but the flanks still are not looking amazing. T-34-85 moving around here. That might help out. The 85 will find the BA-10. BA-10 shouldn't do much. Hopefully it doesn't run into the auto Strafniki though. The Guardias are moving forward as well. So Khers actually might lose the south right now to this push, which is kind of surprising. At the same time though, Khers finally gets a lucky crit here as well, getting a bailout onto the E-34-76 on the other side. And Saperis getting some TMT on here. Oh no! And the 152mm off-map dies without getting a single salvo out. Oh god, this is disaster. This is disaster. That's 170 points that did exactly 0 here for AS. And the M42 getting shots out here to the south. Automachiki Strafniki under heavy fire. As AS is getting a bit of a victory here in the south. But that came in the cost of losing the complete center, that investment into the south. And the Yak-9B might still ruin the day of the T-34-85 here, as it comes in with a good cluster charge. And that kills the T-34-85 from 1944. And yeah, AS is just on the brink of collapse here for a good couple of minutes now. And without the off-map, I don't see how he gets the center back. The TU-2 trying to come in. Oh no, Su-85 sniping even more transports here. Saperis heavily damaged. It used its APCR shells, so it didn't kill them outright, but it still dealt a lot of damage, stopped them from getting anywhere useful. 2-2 bomber not being super effective either. And even the one T-34-76 in itself is still an issue that can't be really overcome. Still a big hurdle. Su-152 coming around. Northern T-34-85 Su-152 combo is working. As there's another T-34-85 on the other side now as well though. Once more AS lucky with the crit. Can that be followed up by another kill here? Yeah, still has a lot of time. Khers not microing that just out of there yet. Trying to move back. Gets shot another time though and loses that fight as well. T-35, 1943 over here though, coming in with, and this time it's an APCR shell range. Not using it though, but both sides should be able to penetrate each other on this range. Oh, it misses. Yak-9B though coming in, and still no AA on the other side, as AS never was able to afford it. Gets the kill, but will get killed off here by the Yak-9B as well. Never having any AA cover, letting the Yak-9Bs get away with so many kills is really brutal. Had to invest into another 152mm, but does not have anything to support it. And yeah, that is a pretty quick series, as we are used to from Khers here most likely, as the 17-7 is going on, and Khers will make a big step towards playoffs here with that victory. 152mm going down once more, and yeah, that is it. AS will lose their first round in the tournament versus Khers here. Plus Khers will be up 2-1 now. Fighting factor there. The outcome of that. Either 45 getting some hits around here. Off map coming in onto the hill. 85 is moving forward. Saperi coming under fire in the north. Yak 9B trying to get some hits in. Not quite capable to do so. As D-45 is rolling forward. Not really finding anything though. 37mm in the rear. He's sure to unload in a second here, but that is not a line you want to hold. This is not your usual front line at which you want to fight. And with a 19-5, this game is going to be over in 2 minutes 37. And we also are nearly in C-phase, so the income advantage that AS had for a while now is going to go away. One last good income and one last income advantage take won't be good enough to turn this around. Like, T-34 85 trying its best here to get some kills, but the SU-85 is already helping out on dealing with it. And the T-35 dies to us brawling. Whilst in the north, no anti-tank is left either. Whilst there's a T-34-85 rolling in there as well. No anti-tank in the center versus 2 tanks. Way more infantry on the side of Khers. Way better air. No anti-air whatsoever, basically, the whole game on the other side. So the Yak 9Bs went absolutely nuts. And Khers with a classic Khers victory here in game number 2 as well. Vanguard full on pressure, and it worked out. And AS, yeah, really messing it up in the middle. Like, losing the sides was something that was fine, but not winning the center when you use an off-map there and you have basically quadruple the points invested of your enemy in here is really not something you can allow to let happen. That victory was necessary if you wanted to have any chance after losing the flanks on both sides. But Khers here in such a commanding shape. Really looking forward to more Khers games. As the playoffs are pretty close now for this player. Yak 1B getting called home in the north. Saperi coming in as well. Got ADP bouncing versus T-3045. Whilst the Guardian DP over here are in the heavy fire as well. At the same time, down here, Saperi and T-3045 fully back. Guardias in the forest. Up in the north, SU-76s roll in slowly towards the T-34 and the SU-85. And the SU-85 is actually outranging them. So the SU-76s are most likely gonna die before they... Yeah, first one already down. Before they achieve anything. As they might not even see the SU-85 either in that light cover with its better stealth as a tank destroyer. And I expect another shot to come out of here. Okay. SU-76 got another shot out. SU-85 not getting a hit in, but neither does the SU-76. And AS surrenders here with a pretty substantial victory here for Khers once more in game number 2 as well.